All right, I will shift the question to Deng. Maybe he heard what I was asking. In case you're waiting for Emmanuel, what is your insight on this approach?
All right, thank you, Celestine. I think we have been struggling with the network, and that's why we lost our brother. And what I can say regarding that question is that actually, as maybe someone who is an African, and also as someone who is in the same system, I think what we can do after maybe like me now, I'm a university student, maybe studying my career that I'm studying. We shouldn't limit ourselves only to the degrees. Maybe you are someone who is doing law like you shouldn't like limit yourself. You need to do other activities, the practical skills, apply for conference. Also like do like this vocational training, like vocational school. This vocational school, like they're more of practical, and but our people like look down on them. But to be honest, like if you see like these technical skills, they're very important. And I don't mean like maybe having your degree is only enough. And maybe seeing like in the community where I came from, you find maybe a graduate has graduated, and maybe with a degree he has attained, he will be moving around, maybe saying that he has graduated. And honestly, like being a graduate doesn't mean you moving around maybe like as maybe someone who has graduated. You need to maybe learn, keep learning. You need to be learning, because the YouTube is there. You need to learn on YouTube the skill. Maybe if you're someone who was doing software engineering, like myself, you need to learn uh, software like coding, and YouTube is there. I think you can be able to do that on YouTube. And maybe as someone maybe who was doing medical, like medical student, like Josiah, you need also to like do practices, learn other skill. You have to maybe do short courses. There's Coursera. There's Udemy. For those who might know Udemy, learn on Udemy, learn on Coursera. Even YouTube is a powerful place where you can be able to learn. But if you graduate with the only degree that you have and you think that now you have achieved everything, you go in the community, maybe to talk, as if you are someone who has achieved everything, then get to know that that degree will get expired because you don't upgrade yourself. So you need to upgrade yourself after maybe getting uh, the degree. And also you need to also give back. What do I mean with give back activities? Come up with a project that is going to help your community. Is it a mentorship project? Is it something that is maybe related to, practical thing that is maybe being able like to do something in the community? Like helping maybe the breastfeeding mothers in some other project that you can be capable to do. That is what will back up your degree, right? That is what will back up your degree. Make sure you apply what you learn. Maybe if you learn budgeting, go outside there in the community, teach people financial literacy. And you will be as you will be giving back in such a way, you will also be gaining, right? Getting knowledge. And that is what the knowledge and the educated person mean. It doesn't mean like you have graduated, you are put on the ground. So I think that is what I can basically say regarding that question. But you can maybe repeat the question to our brother Emmanuel. It was kicked out by the network, and I decided to take over, and maybe you can be able to put other things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dang. You've been saying that the degree is not enough. You need to go for other options. You're graduating, but then you need to proceed and study and study and study. And this is a very great challenging question because you find youth here outside saying, okay, instead of going to waste time in school, let me take those side hustles and then equip myself with those skills that people from education do not have. And this makes us lack something. So, what is the role of this lesson that you're covering in school? Because at the end of the day, you cannot get out and find that there are those only are enough. You see? So I want you to emphasize and show me the connection of these lessons that we are getting from schools. The question is for Deng.
Yes, like you can repeat. I think you were breaking. The network was kind of breaking.
Okay, I'm saying I was asking, so you see, you're saying about when you're covering school, then you have to still study, learn, equips your knowledge, still forcing your knowledge to work and work and work. So, what is the use of these lessons that we're covering in school? Because at the end of the day, they're not enough. You need to add up and add up other skills. So, tell me, what do you think about that?
The use of lesson, right? Okay. I think the use of lesson that we learn in the school, I can basically say that I cannot say that they're bad, right? I cannot say that. I cannot say they're totally bad. They are good. Because the same lesson that we are using in the school, that the same lesson that are making me now to speak English, right? These are the same lesson that I learned from the school. Again, the same lesson you are learning, like the mathematics, that's the same lesson that are helping me now to do coding because I need to understand the logic. And that logic need mathematics, right? So I think those lessons in the school, they're also applicable. But it depends on you how to apply them in real life. Let's take, for example, maybe I learn maybe financial literacy, maybe in the school, or maybe I learn maybe financial accounting. It is you, right, to put them in use. But again, having that, those lessons, you need also to back them up. That's where like the continuous learning come in. Need to back them up. Like let's take for example, in my past year, I learned financial accounting, and in that financial accounting, I learned how to form a company formation, and that thing helped me by the time when I was registering my company. I understand how the company start. For you to start a company as someone who maybe wanted to venture into.
All right, I think Deng lost connection. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm actually getting in. Okay, getting in. If they can cover
Yeah,
everything.
maybe you can share your notion on this point of the role of lessons in this you know economy. If we really need other skills, even if you're graduating from, even if you have a degree or any other thing. So, what is the use of these lessons?
Thank you so much, to Bjornstein, for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to build from where Deng stopped. So end up disturbing us. Actually, from where Deng stopped, Deng actually say these lessons, they are meant, actually, they are meant to build our critical thinking. They are meant to take us through numeracy literacy, and they are meant actually to add up values into our learning. As I said before, today we can speak English because of this lesson. We're taught English, grammar, and vocabulary. So today we can speak in English, right? Much as we're not to the level of the Europeans or the owners of this language, but we can appreciate. Now, what do we have to do? We have to add into this knowledge. We have to add into these values. We need to find ourselves. In me saying we need to find ourselves, we need to redefine ourselves. Should we be led into the direction that we were first actually taken through, or we discover something out of ourselves? And that's why today is a Theon stint. Most of the students today, they are going to vocational schools rather than universities because they've learned and they've come to the knowledge of, instead of going to the university, why shouldn't I go to vocational school, attain a skill, then try to first do some business, do some other stuff before I go to university? Actually, in the West, university education is not a competition. You can study at any time as long as you're capable of doing it. So we need to narrow this down. Education is not meant to take us to the standard that we ought to get, or we ought to do as students, as learners, as those that are being brought up. Education is meant to give us some values, instill in us critical thinking, and give us values that are going to add up into who we are to become what we want to be. So actually, this curricular knowledge we get from the school, actually to me, I see them as knowledge based. I see them as actually tools that are meant to actually lay a foundation for us to build on. Take an example. As a growing up child, I actually grew up wanting to become a doctor. And I actually am pursuing medicine as I speak, which is not bad. But again, do I need not to think apart from medicine? What can I do as Josiah? Much as it has been my childhood dream that after finishing my O level, since in South Sudan we end at O level, what can I do? Is to go to university, attain my bachelor's of medicine. But aside my bachelor's of medicine, what can I do? Now comes in what Josiah can do. I'm a freight forwarder. I work with the freight forwarding company. And again, coming back to our curriculum, I was criticized as to why I work as a freight forwarder. That why should you go to the field of medicine? But I tell them I have to be versatile for me to survive in this world that is actually that the show has. I need to be versatile. I need to work as a freight forwarder, study as a medical student, and again, if there are certificates that I can attain in administrative law, I can do them because I want to be knowledge-wise vast, understand actually the way the world is being run, the way things are going about, and how I can survive. So today, actually, much as the curriculum are good, much as the lessons taught in the school are good, without us thinking otherwise, it's going to be hard for us to survive. And that is why, as the Theon's thing today, we produce learners that are going to be complaining of there are no jobs in Rwanda, there are no jobs in South Sudan, there are no jobs in Uganda. You see, we are just producing learners. We are producing students that are not going to be critical thinkers. And instead of you having pursued your bachelor's of medicine, searching for a job that is actually a field of medicine, why can't you do other things that can earn you a living? Can't you become an entrepreneur? You can do it. This does not need science. It does not need God's intervention. It needs you to think. You borrow money. You start a business. You can even start a pharmacy. You do other things that can earn you a living. So to me, to narrow it down, I see education as of important actually, which is very good. We need to go to school, we learn, we gain values. That's the foundation for laying your life. It's you now and me to begin to think out of blue of what to do to be who we want to be. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I loved the idea of you, both of you guys, you're bringing up. We're now eloquent in English, fluent in English, can speak grammar, each and everything. But then we're coming back to the point of African. We are African. So, what is the independence of this curriculums that is provided in schools? Because I've never seen in any country that they have like a curriculum in their local language, everything. And then they put English as additional. The whole curriculums are in English or French. So, how is our curriculum dependent?
This again goes to the question of actually us using a colonial system as a theonsen. Actually, our curriculum are not independent. I would want to appreciate some African countries, for instance, Kenya and Uganda, perhaps. Actually, they are stages in educational system where local languages are prioritized, especially in lower classes and in nursery schools. But look into some other countries in Africa. Students will be like, they are born Europeans. They don't speak their mother tongue. They don't speak their native language. You see, this again goes to calling the government to review the curriculum. Why should a nursery pupil speak fluently in English and does not speak his or her mother tongue? It's a question again to our curriculum. Are we nurturing Africans that are going to actually instill values of their continent to them? No, definitely no. So to me, I actually see this as one of the reasons as to why we call for a review of the curriculum. Because today, if I ask the NTL to speak in Dinga, it's not going to be as fluent as it does in English. Why? It goes again to the curriculum, you see? Because most of the things that are being taught are in English. It's not bad actually. But shouldn't we prioritize our languages? We need to prioritize them. So we need to go back, we sit down, we think about the curriculum, we look into how we need to readjust it to bring in our mother tongue. In the school where I used to teach in 2018, actually, it was a primary school, St. Patrick Primary School. Actually, there was curriculum. Actually, there was a curriculum designed that would want us teachers to teach the local language that was Madi from primary 1 to primary 2. But who could implement it? No one was going to do so. Even the natives, those ones who are Madis in that school, couldn't even write their mother tongue. You see, it was a challenge. Now who will teach the local language? No one will do so. So it again goes back to us. That's why we're challenging the curriculum. Much as we're not saying the curriculum has to be totally changed, but it has to be readjusted. Bringing back our native languages, bringing back our local languages as foundational courses, so that we can grow up knowing our mother tongue and knowing the native language that we are going to actually uh, go through our university studies. By this I mean going through secondary studies and going through university studies. So to me, to come to the climate line of this question, I want to actually define African education as an education that produces graduates. Graduates that are going to be proud of the certificates, graduates that are going to be proud of the language they speak as we speak English now, but not graduates who are going to be who they are supposed to be. By this I mean, we produce graduates that are engineers, but in real sense, they're not supposed to be engineers. They are engineers because of the pressure of the curriculum. They're engineers because they see value in them being called engineers. We don't produce students that are actually going to be value adding learners to the community. So to stop, actually, I would want to encourage us. I would want to encourage the government review the curriculum, bring in actually our dialect, bring in our native languages. Suddenly we begin with them, and as we grow, we'll begin how to learn, look into these foreign languages, define the English, and how begin to actually be teaching it to the students and learners. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was a great thing, Josiah. But you see, we're pushing all this to the system. We're pushing it to